Hi, I'm Colin from Tyne Valley Motorhomes, and this is the handover of the Chausson Alegro 93. So coming down the driver's side of the vehicle, you've got your two fridge vent covers. Your habitation door opens manually with one of the round-headed keys, like so. So you'd lock it, and that's ending 32, this number for that door. You've got your mains connectivity point, so always hook the vehicle up first, so get your hookup lead lifted up, slide it on, and then there's a small blue lever on the left hand side to push down and pull out. Always hook the vehicle up first and then your sight. You've got your awning light, you've got your flue for your gas heater and hot water system, your Truma. You've got your LPG locker, so this is where your gas bottles live. So you open it up, and as you can see in there, we've got our test bottle on, so there's a strap to strap the bottles in. It's a left hand thread, so always opposite threads with gas. Hand tighten and then turn the bottle on and off at the top. So it's clockwise to turn on and then clockwise to turn off. Always turn the bottle off when you're travelling, as it's safer to do so when you're on the road. And then on the back you do have your high level brake light and you have your camera. Your bike rack, so you just pull this down, put your bikes on here, ease round the wheels and spokes, and then use the crossbar, so just tie the bike to the vehicle. And then on the bottom you do of course have your parking sensors, and then we've got an extra added security lock which works with the Fiamma key, so you can push this in, turn it and lock it if you wanted to, should the vehicle be in storage. Turn that, obviously you can open here, and in here you do have your spare wheel, underbed storage, and obviously leisure batteries there as well, and this is just for your parking sensors. Coming around, you've got your toilet, so to operate your toilet, just make sure the blade was closed on the bottom bowl of the toilet. You can slide it out like so, take the cap off. Once you've taken the cap off, go to your waste disposal point, press, tip it out. Once you've tipped it out, if you put some water in and give it a rinse, and then you can then fill this with chemical again. So a cap full into here, and then it's ready to go back into the vehicle. You've then got your freshwater intake, so this will open with the key as well, so it's a lockable cap. Open that up, put a hose pipe in there until it's overflowed, until you're happy there's enough water on board, which you can see on the main control panel. And you can lock that. And then underneath here, it indicates that you do have a drain tap. So this does indicate your freshwater drain. There isn't a tap as such, so there's nothing obvious, but if you look underneath, there is a green cap. You just unscrew that and that will allow the water to drain off. At the back of the passenger side is where your waste is, so I'll just quickly show you where your waste drain off is, which is just on your passenger side here. So you've got a big handle which you can pull open, and it'll open in the middle of the vehicle as you drain it off for your waste, and it will drain. So you'd normally drive over a tank to drain this off. So on the back of the van, the last customer's also fitted corner steadies to it, so it's exactly like a caravan. You'd use your winding handle, put it on and wind the legs down to make the vehicle a bit more stable. Obviously make sure they are securely wound up before you drive off. Then on the passenger door you do have your diesel filler, which opens with the main ignition key to drive the vehicle. So it's got a lockable diesel cap. And then in here you've got your tyre pressures, so 4.1 bar on the front, which is 59.3 psi on the front of the van, and 4.5, which is 65 psi on the rear. You've got your toolkit underneath the passenger seat, which has got a jack and a brace and tone iron. And then your main engine battery lives underneath this compartment here, so you just lift this flap in the floor to get access to the engine battery. Bonnet release. Bonnet. You've got your weight plate here, so 3.5 ton. If you were to tow anything with a tow bar on this, you can tow up to a train weight of 4,830 kilograms, and then you've got your build number on the bottom, so should you ever need parts, quote that number. You've got your various liquids, so you've got your dipstick for checking your oil filler, your radiator coolant, your power steering fluid, your brake fluid, and your screen wash. And then should you ever need to jump start the vehicle, you'd earth off here, off this bolt here, and then you'd put the positive onto there for giving or receiving a jump start. So now inside the vehicle, above the main habitation door, you do have your main control panel. So you've got your master switch here, which is this button here, which turns the motorhome on. If you're hooked up, you will have a little hookup lead here. If not, you will just be working off your leisure battery, which is 12 volt. Then you have your awning light, your pump, so only use your pump if you've got sufficient water on board, and then you could use this to use your taps, toilet, shower. And then on this side you've got your temperature, your leisure battery as it looks as the trailer, vehicle battery readings. If you press again, then you've got your fresh, which is 62 litres on board, and your waste, which is 75. So in your kitchen area, you do have your grill, your mini grill, or your oven, like so. And then below the oven, you do have your Dometic fridge freezer. So turn on and off here. Then it'll light up A. A is automatic energy selection, so it'll find the best source for you, i.e. if you're hooked up. And then your gas is switched on, it will automatically go to hookup. If you were then to take the hookup out, it would go to gas and self-ignite. And then if you were to start the engine, it will go to the battery setting. The battery setting is a feed from the engine alternator designed to keep the fridge and freezer at the same temperature it was when departing. So the idea is that you hook it up on your driveway a day before, put your shopping in, allow it to chill, and then when you are ready, either manually put on a battery, or if it's on automatic, it will automatically switch over. Please note, with the automatic selection, it waits 20 minutes before lighting on gas. This is a safety feature, because if you pull into fill with diesel, last thing you want is it sparking in a petrol forecourt. But you can manually select as well. It'll fail if I go to battery now because there's no engine feed, because we're stationary, and then you can go back to automatic. I've got this setting here, which is your temperature. And then you've got a reset button. Also, when you finish using it for the season, if you take any remaining of your shopping items out, clean it out, and then if you just press these in, slide them forward on both, it stops the doors from shutting, allows the door to be ajar, and allows air in and out the fridge and freezer box. Across from in your kitchen area, you do have your 3 gas burner rings. So light, you'll need some sort of lighter as there's no ignition. Allow the thermocouple to get warm before you release, otherwise it'll go out like so. And then do the other one. There you are. And then once you have used it, if you allow the burners to cool before you put the glass lid down, and you do have your fan, extraction fan, and a light there in the kitchen. Also, you do have a 3-pin plug when hooked up, that'll work for your kettle. Your water there. So that's getting a temperature now, and then you can turn it to the cold side as well. Drawers underneath, so you've got storage beneath in the form of a drawer and a cupboard. And then you've got the carousel cupboard here, which slides out for all your various items. Storage in there, that's just the vent for the extractor hood. More storage. And then at the front you do have your telly bracket, so you'd open the cupboard, slide this out. You've got telly points up there as well, connect your TV to the face, and then if you wanted to spin it around into the bedroom, pull this down and you can turn it around into the back of the motorhome. So this is how to operate your Truma heating and hot water control panel. On this model it is only gas only heating, so you've got to have gas on board to work your heating and hot water. So you press and hold to turn on, then you get this menu, you'd press enter. You've got the motorhome in the far left with the thermometer in. This is the temperature of the vehicle. Obviously if you didn't want heating on, you can turn it all the way to off, or you can choose your temperature with the highest being 30. Then you would just click to preset, and that's set the heating there to 30 degrees. Moving along, you've got the water and the thermometer. This is the temperature of your water. If you've got no water in the boiler or on board, don't have it on, have it off. Then you've got eco, which is 40 degrees of heating your water. Hot, which is 60 degrees. Or you've got boost, which will turn off your heating for a while and prioritize your water until it gets the temperature. So for this we'll just say hot, which is 60 degrees. Obviously it's gas only, so you can't choose your source. And then you go to your fan, so eco, which takes a smaller feed of 12 volt from the 12 volt assisted fan, i.e. if you're wild camping, or you can have it on high if you're hooked up and you wanted to blow around quicker. Coming down the left corner there at the bottom, you've got a timer, so you can time it to come on and off once. You've got a clock, so it's just a time displayed on the main control panel here. And then should you get a warning triangle, i.e. you've run out of gas or your gas isn't switched on, you will have to reset the boiler and the control panel by going to the spanner in the far right corner, going to reset, click reset, then it'll come up preset, click preset, and it will reset the control panel and boiler. And to turn off, you just press and hold. So underneath your bed, if you lift the bed structure up and you lift this section up here, your boiler lives in here. So you do have a frost control, so it's an anti-frost control, so once it gets to 3 degrees or less it will automatically drop the water out. But to manually drop it out, you turn the diamond on the top, the blue diamond, from across the van to the front of the van. The black tab will pop out and the blue button on the right hand side at the bottom of the base will pop out as well. This will allow the water to drain directly underneath the chassis to stop the water from freezing in the boiler of 10 litres. As if it did, it's not covered under any warranty and it's very expensive to repair. So please do always check this and don't rely on it dropping itself. Drop the water in the winter with the fresh and the waste, open all the taps within the motorhome and take the shower head off. You've also got underneath here your gas taps, which are mainly for when the vehicle is habitation serviced, and you've got your solar control unit there, which is charging both batteries, and they're green, so flashing green means they're charging, the solid green, which they are now, means the batteries are fully charged. So this is your wardrobe area. You've also got a status TV aerial. So when travelling, you always want to make sure that the stem of the pole is pulled all the way in and this is securely fastened. And if you do then struggle to get a TV signal, what you can do is you can loosen the nut off. So loosen it off like so, slide the TV aerial up, and then you've got a toggle on the bottom there which directs the aerial. Always look for where your other motorhomes and caravans are pointing on your site. That's the best advice I can give you to find the best TV signal. So now in the washroom, once you've got your pump on, you'll be able to press the blue button here, which will flush the toilet like so. Always flush the toilet first when in use, as it lubricates the blade and stops it sticking. Then you do have a grey lever on this side here, which you'd slide to the right, open the cassette blade, use the toilet, then once after use if you flush it, and slide the grey lever to the left to isolate the cassette. On here the light will go red once the cassette is full to indicate that it needs emptying. You've got a button here which you put in to stop this from moving around when travelling, and then you press the red button to release. Got your hot water there which is getting to temperature there now. It's getting lovely and warm. And like I said, if you remove your shower head off the shower hose, to remove this, as the hose will then hold any water if the shower head's on, and put the hose in the shower tray when the vehicle is in winterized mode. So to make the bed at the front, what you need to do is lift the table completely off the pole. So there's two poles, leave the little one in, take the big one off, and then on here there's a runner here and a runner on there. You would pop this table in the middle, which fills the space in, and then you would use the infill cushion, so you'd use your backrests into the space to then fill on top of the table. I'll put all the cushions in place and then I'll get back to you. Which forms a single bed across the vehicle.